Good evening, and thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. It is the first European Outlook of meteorological summer 2025. A warm welcome. Certainly was a good weekend here on the channel. Back yesterday, the Tropical Outlook, it was the second of the season. And then back on Saturday evening, it was the live stream. So you can check out those videos at your leisure. I'll leave a link in the description below. But a warm welcome and thanks for tuning in today. We do have an interestingly cool start to summer across many areas of the globe. You can see here off the ECMWF weeklies showing that through the next 7 days, so this is essentially the 1st through the 8th of June, so the first week of meteorological summer, we do have a large swathe of cool stretching across North Africa, through the Middle East, and right the way across South Asia, including Iran, Pakistan. Look at India, very, very cool compared to average. And then down into the southeast of Asia as well, widespread cooler than average. Northeastern China, eastern Russia, firmly below average. We also move across the Pacific to Alaska. We're talking about some very chilly temperatures here to start off summer across Alaska, northwestern Canada. We also have held on to some very chilly conditions across parts of Ontario and Quebec, but gone will be that record heat that we saw during the back half of last work week across parts of the Northwest Territories and Nunavut, where we're talking about the mid-30s, and then obviously we did see 37 across parts of Alberta and Manitoba. We've had quite a mixed match of temperature extremes across North America over the past week or so. Much of South America is actually below average, especially northern Brazil, into the Amazon basin, Peru, Venezuela, Colombia. We are, Suriname, the Guyanas. We're talking about below average conditions here. Obviously, this is the beginning of winter, but what we've seen is some quite cold Antarctic origin air moving northwards here, and that has been bringing some unusual chill into the tropics of South America. We've also got a little bit of below average across northern portions of Western Australia and into central and south northern territories as well. But a very interesting vast area of colder than average to start off. Looking at Europe then, and we've got a chilly start to summer here in the UK and Ireland. We've got an unusually deep area of low pressure that is going to make its presence felt over the next 24 hours starting off this evening. And but this is the month of May, and you can see firmly warmer than average UK and Ireland. We'll look at some May and spring stats probably in tomorrow's video actually. But you notice here warmer than average UK and Ireland, into France close to average with the coastal areas above across Iberia, and then Central and Eastern Europe we've had a cool May. So quite interesting stuff. If we look at the global picture here for the month of May, and you can see that this is how it was. It turned out according to CDAS anyway. Large area of Europe below average, a mix and match across Africa. We looked at this on Saturday evening's live stream. India was largely below average thanks to above average rainfall and the early onset of the monsoon. We're going to start to see that dramatically get suppressed as the MJO moves into the Pacific. We're going to start to see widespread subsidence shifting into this area, squashing the monsoon here for a period of time anyway. Northwestern North America below average, Eastern Canada, parts of the United States below average as well. And obviously this is how the first couple of days of June is looking. So quite a very chilly start to summer across many areas of the world, which is quite interesting, I think anyway. Looking at the visible satellite imagery at the time of recording, which is just before 4 p.m. on this Monday the 2nd of June. You can see here quite a deep feature that is going to spread its influence across our part of the world through the course of tonight and into tomorrow here. We're going to see a main band of heavy precipitation moving across Ireland, Northern Ireland and all of the UK through the course of tonight. We're going to see the winds associated with that boundary increase. We're actually seeing a little bit of an increase in winds even this late afternoon period here. But very nice curl here showing that we've got a fairly vigorous feature for this stage. It's an unusually deep low for early June. You can see here that generally it's high and dry across the bulk of England and Wales at the moment here. We've got a massive cloud extending from northern Iberia through the central swathe of Europe at the moment. Looking at the radar then, and you can see that heavy rain moving into the western side of Ireland, Northern Ireland as well, eventually. So that's going to be pressing eastwards through the course of this evening. That main boundary will push through, then we're going to be left with some fairly gusty winds associated with that deep low. Now, I said about that boundary across Europe, extending from north to Spain, across the central swathe of Europe here. That's separating some pretty warm air down across Italy and the Balkan region. Very hot conditions here to end May. We've had at least three straight days of 40 plus in Sevilla and southern Spain. We're going to see a bit of a drop in temperature here. You can see that here across the UK and into France, into central areas of Europe here. But that boundary sitting to the north means that the areas to the south of that is in the hot air, and we can see that across Iberia. Temperatures a little bit pegged back compared to what we've seen during the latter half of last week and through the weekend here. Not just quite as hot here, and obviously we're starting to see a little bit of fresh air associated with that low to the north of the UK, bringing some Atlantic air into Western and Central Europe. That is going to be welcome news here, I would imagine. Looking at the latest overview precip cloud temperature and pressure of the ECMWF, and you can see that low deepens as it makes an approach. We've got the main frontal system bringing that wind and rain through the course of tonight into tomorrow morning. Pressure down to 967 millibars here, 66 millibars in fact, and then we find ourselves in the southern flank of that wind circulation. We're going to notice those winds tomorrow, 50, 60, possibly close to 70 mile per hour in exposure along the coast of Ireland and particularly Scotland. I think we could see some potential severe gales developing on the southern flank of that low, and that is dragging in cooler, fresher air as well. Look at the snow that's breaking out across Iceland, for example, here. Let's have a look at the 850s then, and we are seeing fresher conditions. Not exceptionally cold, but I'll tell you what, I say that, and we will notice that the chill in that wind through the course of tomorrow. We could see maximum temperatures in the north of the British Isles struggle to get much above 12 or 13 widely tomorrow, anywhere from southern Scotland, even the north of England, northwards. Temperatures probably mid-teens further south. But that is dragging in some colder air, and that will certainly suppress the temperatures. A rash of showers will blow in on that strong wind as well. Will feel distinctly unsummer-like, that's for sure. And looking at the wind gust potential, and you can see here, skip back and play through this loop, and you can see some fairly gusty conditions, especially more towards the northern half of the UK here. Let's have a very quick look at temperatures then and see. Let's look specifically at the UK, and then we'll end with that. Let me just see here. 2 meter temperatures play through the course of tomorrow, and you can see here that even at 15 UTC, the model is indicating single figure temperatures, believe it or not. Let's see if I can pull up Scotland specifically and look at this here. So these are the temperatures through the overnight tonight. Will feel colder as those winds strengthen. Then through the course of tomorrow, we are still talking about temperatures in the mid to high teens. Murray Coast, Aberdeenshire, down that eastern side. Strong westerly winds, obviously, we see the warmest temperatures further east with the help of some sunshine here. Very frequent showers into the west of the UK. We could be talking about 10, 11, 12 Celsius in the west, 15, 16 in the east here. So a distinct chilly west versus something a little bit milder the further east you go. Let's have a look at England, Wales and Ireland as well. Tuesday afternoon, we're talking about temperatures probably upper teens, maybe a 20 somewhere. But look at the north of the UK, Cumbria, parts of even Lancashire, over the higher ground of the Pennines, for example. Temperatures may struggle to get much above double figures, and then factor in 50, 60 mile per hour winds, it will feel like mid-single figures. So that is going to definitely be noteworthy as we progress through Tuesday, possibly into Wednesday. Will be chilly as well. Let's move back to Scotland and see what the temperatures are like on Wednesday at 15 UTC. And you can see here even cooler. So this is Wednesday afternoon, by the way. Only holding on to low double figures in the east, according to the ECMWF. Maybe slightly overdoing the chill, I don't know. But look at the west. Temperatures in the single figures for the afternoon on Wednesday here. So, do we see some, places that don't get above 8, 9 Celsius? That is possible in the western exposed areas of Scotland here. Looking at the further south then, England, Wales and Ireland for Wednesday afternoon. And again, chilly. We're talking about the 16, possibly an 18 north of London in the southern portions of Suffolk and Norfolk as well. But again, 10s quite widely across the north of England, parts of Wales as well, probably struggling to get much above double figures in some spots. Some of the sheltered areas with sunshine, if we get that, may see 17, 18 Celsius, for example. In the southwest, you're generally talking about low to mid-teens. Ireland as well, generally low teens. We've got a 10 there in western portions of Northern Ireland as well. So, a distinctly chilly and unseasonably windy over the next couple of days here. I am still optimistic that we are going to see pressures building towards the end of week 1 into week 2 of June. More on that over the next couple of days, but I wanted to specifically look at the next few days here because it is unseasonably cool and windy, thanks to a sub 970 millibar low just the north of the British Isles. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. If you're enjoying the content here in the channel, be sure to hit that like button, and it's absolutely free content 7 days a week. Subscribe to Mark Vogan Weather, and a very warm welcome if you are recently subscribed to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I certainly hope you're enjoying what you're seeing here. We've got the Tropical Outlook on a Saturday. We've got the live stream each and every Sunday as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.